What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is healthy and well today. Today I bring to you a highly requested video. Original video link will be down below in the description. Shout out to Nalf, man. I really do love this channel. I told you guys before, stay tuned. We will be reacting to more videos on this fabulous, excellent channel. Now today we'll be reacting to, I really respect Germany for this. I wasn't given a lot of context behind this video, but I'm really excited to react to this. Like I said, I really do enjoy this channel. Let's jump right into it, man.
In Schwäbisch Hall, there is a bookstore that I like to stop into from time to time. Irrelevant but interesting side note, that bookstore has been around since 1596.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Now,
Yeah, wow.
In that bookstore, there's a small little English section where I found this book called Why the Germans Do It Better. Now, I'm only like 30 pages into the book, so I can't really recommend it or not recommend it yet. I will say it is pretty interesting so far.
He's 30 minutes into the book. Did you just buy the book and make this video? You say, let me buy this book. Wait, I got my camera on me. Wait a minute. Okay, did you read 30 minutes and then make a video? And then you compared it to like things that you actually see in everyday life in Germany or something? Maybe I'm thinking ahead. Let's jump right into this. I have a lot of things to commend Germany on, for real, for real. Like their history. You know, one thing I noticed about the history is that everybody has a history not to be proud of, you know? But one thing that Germany has taught me is to take pride in your past, in your history, in your mistakes, your flaws. Because as you progress on in this world, you should be growing. You should be doing better. So you should take pride in talking about the mistakes people made or you made or the government or this or that and what you'll never do again, and you learn from this and that. You know, I really do commend you guys for that, because when it comes to Germany's history, everybody in especially in the United States, that's all they teach is the history of Germany. Oh, it's bad, this and that, you know. But if you go to Germany, nobody really hides the fact about the past, the history. People speak about it, but you moved on from it. You know, Germany wouldn't be what it is today if you didn't go through those times, because throughout those times, the people, I don't want to say they weren't as educated, but you made some mistakes towards choosing someone, you know, and that was a mistake never to be made again. United States, take note. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I really do commend you guys for that. You know, for real. You take pride in teaching it, the history and the past and what happened and everything. I really do. But I like how you guys show the growth. What I don't respect is how the United States teach the history and everything in the bad times to make us think that's what Germany is to this day. You know? It's 2026 and we do have some kids in high school right now that believe Germany is what it was back in them times, you know? Because they just haven't expanded. They haven't left high school yet. They're stuck in that school system. Really do respect you guys for that, for real. And I put that in my everyday life. You know, I'll forever take so much pride in telling people about my past mistakes, things that I do now, my flaws that I noticed, but I'm trying to fix. But hey, don't be like me. I'm trying to still teach you better. And I really do respect that. And that's what I've been trying to do in everyday life, for real. Excuse me, guys. It's hot. The air is on. I got the fan on, but it's like 100 degrees outside, man. It's like 7:30 p.m. It don't make no sense. It's so hot like that, man. Hot.
Called Why the Germans Do It Better. Now, I'm only like 30 pages into the book, so I can't really recommend it or not recommend it yet. I will say it is pretty interesting so far. But what has caught my eye and made me want to make this video were two sentences on the first page of the book. Now, I've got to read two paragraphs to give you context for the two sentences.
Okay.
And here it is. In January 2021, Germany turned 150 years old, but its people barely marked that milestone. Germany, from the time of Bismarck to that of Hitler, is synonymous with militarism, war, the Holocaust, and division. No country has caused so much harm in so little time. And yet, two nearby anniversaries tell a different history. In November 2019, millions celebrated 30 years since the Berlin Wall came down. In October 2020, 3 decades had passed since reunification. Half of modern Germany's lifespan has been a tale of horror, war, and dictatorship.
Facts.
The other half is a remarkable tale of atonement, stability, and maturity. No country has achieved so much good in so little time. Those two sentences at the end of each paragraph. No country has come.
This whole video is revolved around that? You guys know how to watch videos before I react to. This whole video is revolved around that. Because that's what I was basically saying. You know, I wanted to, because I was basically going over what the title said, and that's really a big thing I respect about Germany, and I always been saying that. You know, the history and everything, what you have become as a country. So there's a book dedicated to that. I've been thinking this about Germany this whole time ever since before I even started this. You know, that's why I started this channel. Bro, there's a whole book on this. But my thoughts been here. My mind been here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been here, bro. This video is meant for me.
Little time. Those two sentences at the end of each paragraph. No country has caused so much harm in so little time, and no country has achieved so much good in so little time. All right, everybody, of course, knows all the bad terrors from World War II and the Holocaust, but one thing I think a lot of people don't really know about, and I didn't really know about until I came to Germany, was how well this country does and how much effort it puts into making sure those horrible things never happen again in the future. And a big part of that is education on what had happened in the past. You know, the old saying, those who do not know history are doomed to repeat it. I think Germany takes that pretty seriously. In the introduction of this book, a very powerful memorial tool is mentioned. Something that I've known about since my first year in Germany, something that I see all the time, something that whenever my family members come here to visit, I point it out to them and they always find it very powerful as well. I see these things all the time, and now that I'm actually looking for them, I can't seem to find them. But I know there's quite a few here.
Hey, the quality is definitely there, bro. I mess with this type of like cinematic scene you got. It's respect right here.
The Stolpersteine, or stumbling stones. Now, I'll let Rachel from DW's Meet the Germans explain.
One subtle yet striking part of the memorial culture in Germany are the Stolpersteine, or stumbling stones. These small brass squares are inscribed with the names of victims of the Nazi regime and set into the pavement outside their last known address. The project was started in the 90s by German artist Gunter Demnig, and today
There's no way you completed it and did all the names and put it in front of their homes, their addresses. There's no way y'all was able to do that. Wasn't there some people lost? Let me just see. No way you was able to find every single person's name and everything. Well, of course, though. But how could such one man do that, you know? And not the government. How could one man do such thing?
their last known address. The project was started in the 90s by German artist Gunter Demnig, and today there are more than 75,000 stumbling stones across Germany and other countries. But even this is not without controversy. The city of Munich has actually banned the stones from being installed on public ground, after some people, including a prominent Jewish community leader, argued that it was disrespectful to commemorate victims with something on the ground that you can walk over. The city has instead opted for wall plaques.
Now that's respect. That's respect. Think about it. Hey, you see, we're not supposed to be stepping on their names. Hey, that true. If you really think about it.
Commemorate victims with something on the ground that you can walk over. The city has instead opted for wall plaques like this one.
Nice.
So I can understand the controversy behind some of these movies.
You got Hollywood, they got the Walk of Fame. They put everybody's faces on, not faces, they put everybody's names in the star on the ground, on tiles and everything. And a lot of those people are deceased. And you just stepping all over their name, walking all over it, bro. How disrespectful. That's literally what that feels like. I just get my name off the floor. Don't you ever put my name on the pavement. You better not ever put my name down. You're stepping all over my name. I see videos out there of people cleaning their names and stuff because like dirt and everything. It's like, why not do like a Hollywood wall of Hall of Fame or something like that? You know, that makes sense. Why you gotta walk on them? And you can still walk and call it the Hollywood Wall, Walk of Fame, whatever. Or just simply the Hollywood Wall of Fame and just simply walk.
people, including a prominent Jewish community
I
leader,
respect that,
argued
bro.
that it was disrespectful to commemorate victims with something on the ground that you can walk over. The city has instead opted for wall plaques like this one.
So I can understand the controversy behind some of these. I mean, these are supposed to be memorials that pay respect to victims, and if they're on the ground, people can walk over them, and just by nature, that's not a respectful act. So I understand a little bit of the controversy behind them, but I'm actually a fan of these. In my opinion, it lowers the barrier of entry for modern day people to learn about history and to be educated about history. It's one thing to be interested and to go to a museum and read and see memorials and learn about it like that. But it's a whole other thing to just be going about your day-to-day life in your city and coming across these memorials that bring history right to you today.
So he's basically saying how it was on the floor. That's a cool way to actually learn, though. Unlike the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I tell you when they born this and that, or like their accomplishment, but this is like straight up history, not celebrities that are getting idolized by people. I don't believe in idolizing human beings. By the way, I'm sorry. And I tell people the same. Don't idolize me. You can like things from a person and respect things, but don't you idolize a person. But like, I think it's truly nice to have it. I mean, okay, the stepping over part, I understand and respect. But when you see the average person walking, going to their destination or something, including me, if you see something up on a wall, you're probably gonna ignore it. Because we see things up on posters, walls, buildings, here. Like, when you see something on the floor, though, and it's like a shiny plaque or it's silver or gold, it's gonna catch your attention, first of all. And you're gonna look down and read it and be curious. You're gonna squat and be like, what is that? And you're gonna read it and be like, this is history. And you're gonna be shocked to find out that the person where that plaque is, where that thing is, where it's in front of, that is the original home address of somebody who was, well, their life was taken, in the camp. Somebody that was put into one of the concentration camps and their life was taken. You know what I'm saying? So that house right there is history. That marks history. That's where that person used to live. Everything, bro. And that's crazy. That's crazy. So I definitely see both sides, the respect part, and I see the side he's saying basically like this could get people to want to actually learn more. If we do stuff like this in the US, at least people curious. Like, yo, look what I just see on the floor. Look, what's this? And then you get to thinking, when was this put here? What year? Like, bro, this is history. That's pretty cool.
Across these memorials that bring history right to you today. You can't help but see those and think about the victims of those horrible events back in the day. It's a pretty powerful experience to be walking into a cafe or restaurant, seeing these stumbling stones on the ground, reading the names of the people and what their ultimate fate was, and then going into that building and looking at the walls, at the floor, at the window, and now having a connection to individual people or families, and to actually be able to think about them while you're there in that building. I think that's a pretty powerful experience, and it's something that you almost can't help but experience when you see these things. So I'm a fan of these because it makes learning about history and being informed and being able to pay respect to victims, it makes it much more common and like an everyday thing. Yesterday was November 9th.
Hey, and another thing, I hope I'm not really like overthinking, but I feel like it's another thing with respect. If you put it on the floor, think about this. Some people might not, look at the ground and they may step on it, especially if it's night. They probably don't mean no harm, but if it's out in the open, you could read it. But I feel that it's even more respectable if you get down to that level. You get on your knee or you have to squat. That way you can read it and, get a feel for the history and pay your respects to that person. You know what I'm saying? What do people do when they pay respects or when they show true love or dedication to somebody? They get on the knee. Or if they go visit a tombstone, they get on the knee or they pray or this, that. You know what I'm saying? So that's like a respectable type of thing, getting down to that level. And even with kids, I do that. I like to get on my knee or like squat down when speaking to them to show you like I'm not above you. I'm not, big, strong, intimidating. I'm here with you on your level and I understand you, whether you are here or deceased. I got respect for you. See what I'm saying? Straight up, man. I got principles I stand on. Y'all, and it ain't gonna never change.
much more common and like an everyday thing. Yesterday was November 9th, which is a significant day in German history. A lot of important things have happened on November 9th throughout the years in Germany. Two of the big ones are the fall of the Berlin Wall and then Kristallnacht.
I always wanted to go see the Berlin Wall.
Night of the Broken Glass in 1938.
As well. We learned about these two events. We also learned about the third event. Now, if I'm getting the name correct, was it Anne Frank? I gotta look it up now. I had to look it up. Was it Anne Frank? Was it Anne Frank? And she was the one that actually hid in the attic, or like the attic of her home with her family and a few people. And she wrote a book of her experiences and how they were hiding from, the Nazis and all that. And they were running up in the homes and everything. They was cool for a couple years. But I think they ended up getting caught, right? Who was Anne Frank? If I'm remembering that name right. You know what I'm saying? Because I paid attention in school, bro. History is my thing. Anne Frank was a German-born Jewish teenager who became one of the most famous victims of the Holocaust. Okay, yep. Hiding during the Nazi occupation of Netherlands. Yup. I do remember. I remember this. The Diary of a Young Girl. And we watched the movie, the film, read the book, articles. We did all that, man. I remember this years later, so I did learn something. in school. We did. I'm not going to ever knock that. Just saying, I wish we would have went into more detail, a little more in depth for things that mattered, such as like stuff like this and the growth of Germany, not just the history in the past. That's what we're going to run off believing for the rest of our lives about Germany. Don't do that. If you're going to scare the people and wake them up, you got to calm them down and ease them off now. You don't just leave them traumatized.
Kristallnacht, Night of the Broken Glass in 1938. And last night I was walking through Schwäbisch Hall and I stumbled across a gathering of people who were basically paying tribute to the victims of Kristallnacht. They were gathering, they were giving a little speech about some victims, playing some music, and really making sure that history is not forgotten. I mean, here we are 80 years later in Germany with these German people who had nothing to do with those horrible events of the past, but take a responsibility and feel a responsibility to make sure that history is kept alive and that people don't forget about it, and to make sure that type of stuff doesn't happen again. I really respect that. The more I learn about history, the more I realize that every single country has a dark past. But I think no country addresses their dark past as well as Germany.
Yeah, a lot of countries are very naive about their history and their past. And even when you speak to the citizens, the locals, I'm like, you wasn't even alive in those times and you defending? You literally got mad justifications? Oh my gosh, you must be getting paid. I was like, hey, that's crazy. I don't know, man. It's crazy, bro. How people be defending. I'm like, just keep it 100. Do you think I'm going to sit here and take up for the U.S. and be like, oh, we're fine, we didn't do nothing in history? I don't care if I love your history, I react to, your country on one of my channels. We all got to keep it real. Every country has a traumatizing history. But what we focus on is the growth and the beautiful things of that country. That's what they never taught us in school. And that's exactly why I ended up making these channels. I just gave y'all, that's literally the reason why I made my channels and everything. Seriously. Because how dare you try to put a cap on my education and, make me think a certain way about a country. Now, I may never want to visit it, this or that. You got us running off thinking stuff, and then we got to educate other people about this. But just the nonsense that happened in the past, come on. That's exactly why I made these channels. And this channel is amazing. He never lets me down. Original video link will be down below in the description. I really do. Salute to you, brother. If you ever see this video, man, your videos is like that. Your videos is amazing.
Past. But I think no country addresses their dark past as well as Germany.
Facts.
And I really respect its attitude and behavior on this subject.
70, 80 Jahre danach zu sagen, wir tragen daran Schuld, fände ich viel zu groß. Aber ich glaube, wir tragen eine Verantwortung, das was irgendwo verhindern, dass sowas wieder passiert.
If you're a German viewer, you probably knew about these. This probably isn't anything new to you, but I remember when I first discovered these after coming to Germany from the States, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that they do that. I think that's a really powerful memorial tool. And I've been meaning to make a video about it for a while, and I think the introduction of this book kind of sparked me to do it. So
nice.
Yeah, guys, that is all for...
That's a true content creator right there too, man. That man read 30 minutes of the book and said, "Oh, and I did notice this," and made a video. Quality. It don't take a lot to make a quality video. I'm telling people, you take a lot. If you got knowledge, man, give it to the people. Facts.
The introduction of this book kind of sparked me to do it. So yeah, guys, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.
I'll tell you what. My day was lovely. It was about the nighttime, and I wanted to continue to be lovely. It's just as long as the sun goes down and it gets a little cooler. Because, bro, I'm steaming right now. Like, I am cooking as we speak. As I speak, I'm cooking. I feel like every time I say a word, my body gets hot. You ever feel like a tingle sensation in your body? Like you just got hot even more? That's what I'm feeling. It don't make no sense. I got the fan on, the central air, the blackout curtains, everything possible. Just can't run from it for real. But please, don't mind my forehead. I'm just, it's hot. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on, follow my Twitch, and subscribe to all my other YouTube channels in the description down below. Share your honest thoughts and opinions about this video. Yes, on this amazing topic brought to us today, reacting to I really respect Germany for this. And so do I, and I always have, Like I said, it's the main reason why I made these channels. All of the channels I have. Out of curiosity, respect, wanting to know the truth and learn more and see the growth. Straight up, man. But please share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. What are some other things you actually noticed? What are some other things that should I guess, shined in the light a little bit more? Some underrated things that you feel maybe aren't taught that consistently around the world, or maybe just specifically in the United States that more people should be aware to, more open to, Please share it in the comment section down below. My forehead look real shiny, like you could probably see your reflection right now. If you see me personally, you could probably see your reflection in my forehead right now. That's how ridiculous I look. Ridiculous. Stay safe. I love you all, and I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video.